Hello, everybody. We're here. Yeah. Ruined the surprise already. We're here. Let me just go ahead and do that. By we, it's not Bunny today. We have another special guest. We have Ranger, a good buddy acquaintance of mine. You guys might know if you've been hanging out in the chats when we do Dangan streams. Say hello, Ranger.
Hello.
Awesome. As you guys know, Ranger is the one who convinced me to play the Danganronpa games. And I have been miserable ever since. No. But I've had
no responsibility.
You will take full responsibility. But no, I had a lot of questions about the game, and they just kind of pop up whenever I think about them, but I don't exactly write them down.
I may have answers.
Yeah, so I figure I'd ask him, the keeper of knowledge, to assist me. So let's move on over to our very own trial room, and I will attempt to make this to ask you questions, give you Q's, and you give me A's, hopefully. But yeah, man. Hold on, let me immediately forgot where I put all my stuff. Here, let's just start like this. The game we're mainly talking about today is not that one. That one? There we go. Danganronpa 2. Goodbye, Despair. Oh my gosh, my screen went like berserk.
Your favorite?
Yeah, my favorite. My absolute favorite. First question is, what the fuck? Why is this game... let's back up a little bit. Do you know about how long after they made the sequel, the sequel to the first one? Because to me, this game feels very half-baked, in my opinion.
I think it was made like 2 years after the first one.
Okay.
Because I think that the first two games, for when they translated it, came out at the same time in 2014.
Right.
And Danganronpa 1 came out in 2010. I remember.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna turn you up just a little bit, and then turn the music down just a little bit more. There we go. But yeah, okay. Man. Okay. I wanted to kind of hold off on this question, but I have accusations to bring to you.
That sounds promising.
Those accusations are... Oh, not that. That's you. Exhibit A. I have had this beef ever since this game started, and you know exactly what that is. The fact that these are the same characters. These are the same people.
Off to a great start.
So, why explain yourself? Why? I don't even know how to fucking phrase words anymore. Look at it. It's the same. It's the same.
5 minutes and I'm already broken.
Bro, I'm serious. Like, it's the glasses, the you change short socks for long ones and a long skirt for a short one. You got the little bits here and there. You got a symbol that's basically the same. You take this little bit here and this little bit here, and you throw them in a blender and a washing machine and then throw that down the hill, and it's the same person.
So you're saying if they took 3 parts from 3 different characters into one character, is that one character is the same as all the other 3?
Yes. I am absolutely saying that. But it's not even like
Then
just...
they're not a copy, then they're an amalgamation of different characters made into one.
Alright. That is completely fair. Amalgamation is a better word, I should say. But it is definitely based off... This is the
I was amazed I could say that word.
You're doing great. This is the mannequin on which this was built. This part, when this happened, the dual personality, the what was she called? Shimmering Justice or something?
Sparkling Justice.
Sparkling Justice. Sparkling...
Also, it's not a dual personality. She was pretending.
Okay. Yes. You're really tearing apart my arguments. This is excellent. Okay. So, yes, she had a dual personality and she faked a dual personality. I will absolutely give you that. Cancel. I will give you that. But why would they choose this character, the one who looks so much like her, to do that? It broke my brain.
I think the answer is the answer to like some of the other questions during your last stream, and that is that if you notice with developers like these, mostly from Japan, like Kodaka, the guy who made all this, and Hideo Kojima, who made Metal Gear Solid, that sometimes tends to be very, very similar thing, like almost copy from one and to the other, but the purpose behind it is usually to trick you into thinking that, oh, it's just the same, except surprise, we pulled a rug under you. It's actually something that is actually a twist to it.
Okay. So they were made to trick you into thinking they were the same.
Yeah, like
Okay.
like for example, Peko and Fuyuhiko, the gangster character, they know each other before they went to school, like Makoto and Sayaka did in the first one. So, but there's a little bit of twist to it in that, except for knowing each other since they went junior high, I think they knew each other from birth.
Right.
So there's that.
Okay. All right. I didn't even think about that. I forgot about that completely. It's like they took all of the plot points and tags and just, put those in a big list, and then just kind of pulled out different, maybe 4 or 5 different things to make a new character from already established traits and backgrounds and stuff like that. Would that be more accurate?
I think the way I would kind of describe it as, imagine if someone made a fan fiction of the first game and just made original characters loosely referenced by characters from the first game.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's the best way I can describe your accusation of it being the same.
Yeah. Okay. So I can jump over to Exhibit B, which is a little less put together, but it's kind of the same, and with the same mannequin, I might add. This one, I completely forgot Mikon existed for a while until I went back to
Trust me, I wish I forgot she existed.
Oh my gosh, dude. That was the hardest, one of the harder parts was just dealing with her. And not only that, I put pressure on myself to do a girl voice, and it did not work well. But yeah,
I could hear that.
but like like you're saying, is original character loosely based on, you know, traits or you know, personalities of other characters from the first game. And then I think this one that's our exhibit B, and then this is our exhibit more. This is our blending of different characters to make a new character. Pay no attention to this one. I just threw that one in at the end.
I am thoroughly confused by the top left ones.
This one here,
and the right one.
This one was just off of aesthetics for me. Leon, that's his name. I almost said Smash Mouth. Leon and
the fandom is
crap.
essentially called the fandom essentially nicknames him 11037.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I could not believe I was so dumb. I watched someone else play through the first game, and I'm like, you know, they instantly got that it said Leon, and I felt so stupid because it took me to the very end. It didn't help that I didn't remember what his name was, but yeah. But this one is kind of just the punk rocker aesthetic and the Hot Topic look blended into this. That's just how I felt when I initially saw them. These two, all he did was flip his little Jimmy Neutron thing around, his little calic around, and take his jacket off. This guy looks like he could be his older brother. I honestly did when I saw him. I'm like, oh, this is just him again.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back to this one because this one is very hard to explain.
But the top right one, I'm surprised you use Junko Mukuro, and not Sayaka, because if you put Sayaka there, I think there will be more of a similarity. But I mostly base that on. But I mostly base that on the fact that Sayaka wears a sort of similar looking school uniform.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess you could add that to the equation or swap out either one. Yeah. Okay. And then this one, I really just thought that was her again. Aoi? Is it Aoi? How do you say her name? Jimmy and Sakura just make her.
I think it's Aoi, but
Aoi?
just call her Hina. That's what she wants people to call her.
Hina. That's right, Hina. I forgot about that. See, I forgot about a lot of stuff.
Me too.
But yeah.
But yeah, I will actually just erase Sakura from that equation and just
just them two. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no excuses for that. Yeah, they are very similar, except I'm pretty sure Hina is a little bit smarter and actually knows what sexual harassment means.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, that stuff hurt. Like, I thought she was just gonna be, oh, you know, this is another kind of little empty-headed, you know, but a good fighter kind of character. And then she's just got like the worst backstory imaginable, and she doesn't even know, or she doesn't even realize, I guess.
It's normalized for her.
Yeah. That, man, it bothered me. This game really like tried my patience with that with the innuendos, I should say.
Boy,
because
you're gonna hate some of Kotaku's other games.
oh god. Oh man.
I'm currently playing the 100 Line Last Defense Academy.
Yeah.
It's also made by him. It's less innuendos and just straight to the point when that topic comes up.
Oh my
It's-
gosh.
But it's not as bad as this.
Okay.
And it's a little more tolerable. And
Right.
there's also another murder mystery game he made. I would say has way more restraint when
Okay.
it comes to some of that stuff.
Which game is? Oh no, is that the game you're talking about, or is it he has a different one?
It's a different one. It's called Raincoat, I think.
Oh, is that the one that looked like think I've seen ads for it. Well, we're gonna do this. Oops. It looks like it's a Danganronpa clone or whatever. It's got the same art style and whatever, and people were very confused. Which one is it? That? Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna use good old Google for this. I think it's like Code Rain Plus or something.
Yeah, something like that. The biggest difference is that all the character relevant lines are actually voiced.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe I should play that. Then I won't have to mess up my reading.
It's also personally I felt it was shorter because it's less. Oh, you're trapped somewhere and you have to solve murders in a killing game, and more of an Ace Attorney kind of way of doing it, where you are detective going around solving crime.
Okay.
And you got a death god demon thing helping you along the way.
Oh. Okay. What is it? Ghost Trick is the other kind of detective game, kind of like that. Anyway.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
But yeah, Raincoat Plus also has some very similarities with Danganronpa. Like when you're in an argument here, instead of shooting down the arguments, you have to cut them with a sword, but you also have to actively avoid them by dodging and jumping and ducking and stuff.
Oh, okay. That's pretty unique.
Yeah, and but there are also other parts of the murder solving when you come to the actual gameplay stuff, where it's very quick time event where you really have to read quick and then suddenly be like, okay, next button, and then yeah.
Right. Oh, maybe I wouldn't be good at that. But yeah. Oh, to explain this one, I cannot explain this one. It's just, it's hard because he's got. Initially, when you see that first image of him standing over you, and his hair is just spread out, it reminded me of Hero so much, and I don't know how else to explain it. But it's just like you took Makoto and Hero, and this is their love child somehow. Is the best way I can explain this.
I definitely wouldn't have seen Hero being used like this.
Trust me, this is the only time I want to see Hero ever. I do not like that guy.
Have you gotten through his free time events yet?
I have not. I have been kind of avoiding him. I've been trying to spend more, I went back to the beginning and I was talking more with Leon since I knew, he's the first guy to go. I just wanted to see how much I could talk to him. And then you had told me about, you could just do there's a mode where you can just hang out with people forever, I guess. So I haven't done that yet, but I should.
But trust me, you will hate Hero even more.
Really? I really thought you were going to tell me that, oh, you know, he comes around. Like, no, he gets worse.
No. Let's just say the last event is kind of shows us how much of a coward he is.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
And it's sort of, and it also gets referenced in the novel you unlock in the second game, the If novel, because some of the things that gets explained there, they reference some of the things that happened during the school years that they can't remember.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Junko herself. I forgot to bring a slide up for that one. But her being the final boss really doesn't make sense. How is she the final boss? Uh-oh, my playlist stopped.
How, in what way do you mean?
Okay, so she uploaded her consciousness into the system with the Monokuma bear, I assume, or did I just remember that wrong?
I can actually explain that. It's actually Izuru who does it.
Izuru is
Hachime.
Yeah, with the long hair.
Yeah, who basically the personality that took over Hachime when he got through that Kamakura project.
Okay. So he uploaded it.
Yeah, because he was so good at everything. He was bored by everything, and he wanted to see what would win, Junko's despair or hope and all that jazz. And he just uploaded the virus when Byakuya, Makoto, and Kyoko looked the other way or something.
Right. Okay. Interesting. I guess my next question is oh crap, I had it. I did. Hold on, let me find my notes here. I really hope I didn't just close them out. This is not what I needed either. Oh no. I can't find my freaking notes. Well, crap. Oh, the statue. That's what it was. The ogre statue. Why is that there? Did that ever get explained?
No.
What? What? It's just there.
I can only come up with a theory.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just the Junko AI who just wants to mess with them.
Right. But why would it mess with them by giving them someone they don't know? Like, I can understand why this would confuse someone like if Makoto got sucked into the place, but like, why Sakura on why these guys?
As I said, I can only come up with a theory, but that is okay. Imagine you're trapped inside that place, and suddenly you just find a statue of a muscular woman in a school outfit that says "ogre" on it.
Right.
Plus, I think it might also be kind of like a final fuck you to her because she kind of helped Kyoko get into the principal's office to get that important stuff they need to solve the whole case in the first game.
Right, she betrayed her. Okay. The I guess kind of staying inside the funhouse, that Monokuma room with all the stories. How many stories are there? Does it end? Because I kept clicking on it and just going, and I'm like, I don't know. It just kept making up stories.
Stories?
I tried oh, let me find it. It's like the Monokuma storage room, where like you click on books and it'll tell you just a random weird story. Hold on, Monokuma file room, or I don't remember. This is not what I'm looking for. This is the Monokuma file. Images. Man. DR2. I can't find it. But in the fun house, like the top floor where crap, I can't think of words. Let me refer to the chart. Hold on. Oh no. It's not working. It's great. Everything's wonderful. Where... What is his name? Why can't I think of his name? This one. Kiss ass. Shoot.
Oh, Nagito.
Nagito. Oh my god. Do you see why these games are, like, not built for me? Because I can't even remember their name, even though I just said it, like, 10 minutes ago. Nagito. Where he, like, escapes, the final dead room. And, he comes down and he's in that room. This room. This one. This one. This room right here, where you can just click on the shelves and they'll just keep giving you stories. Do you know anything about that?
I'm gonna be honest, I have only been in that room once when I played it the first time, and I don't remember it.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
I was going to play it for a second time, but it was around the same time you played it, and I felt there was like no real need to witness it both at almost the same time.
Yeah, that's fair. But oops, wrong thing. Okay, because like I looked online and it's like, well, how many stories are there? And nobody seemed to know, because I guess nobody cared. I guess and I guess that's proof more. Your more proof is that nobody really cared about this room enough to go through the stories. I think I went through like 10 and I was like, all right, I'm done. But okay, the Junko's sister, what was her name? Mukuro. Does she ever come back for anything?
No, sadly not.
So we have this one character that we've never seen their face, and we've seen like one picture of them, yeah, and that's it. Like we'll never.
Well, she is there. She just has a wig on.
Yeah, but like I want to see her. You know what I mean?
Me too. Listen, I have been waiting for a unique Mukuro sprite since I read If, and the summer camp game that they released didn't give us that.
Dang it.
Because despite how much of a war criminal she is, I really like her.
All right, that is a good question to lead into. What do you like about these characters that I so revoltingly hate? And, you know, no offense to you, obviously, but I just don't like these guys. They became less and less likable the more of them that survived. Like, What is her name? Where? No. Who is it? Yeah, like Nurse. You didn't like her. I know that one, but
Kai and I don't like her very much.
but like I don't understand. Who do you not like besides Mikon in this group of colorful cast of characters?
Teru.
Teru. Yeah, that's fair.
The first trial in the second game, when it came to point out who the murder was, for some reason I was so stupid I didn't try and figure it out. I just picked him because I like him the least. And then when it turned out to be right, I was like, for a moment I was like, wait, how could that be right? What have I missed? Then I just remembered, oh, he's the only one who doesn't have an alibi.
That's fair. Completely justified, by the way. We stand Teru hate in this house.
And but the one who's a close second is Hiyoko Brad.
Yeah, oh my gosh, every split second that they made me think, maybe she's gonna be a little nicer. I just think, she gives me a reason to hate her again. But then she calls Mikon like a pig slut or something like that. And like that one just
about right.
That one just stuck with me. That one just like, no, I can't listen to a word you're saying ever again.
The only time I have liked her, and just to be clear, I can't remember her free time events.
Right.
I don't remember if I completed them. But the only time I liked her was in the Dangan 3 anime, where Chiaki is arranging a not Mario Kart tournament, and and her and Twilight Sparkle and some of the other girls are playing, and Brad gets a star, and she runs Twilight off the track, and when Twilight gets back on the track, somehow Brad still backs up, knocks her off the track again, and then go forward again. And there's something about that I'm like, you know what? I can respect that kind of.
Yeah, you hate professionally. Yeah.
Yeah, I can respect that kind of, I guess, trolling it is.
Yeah. Okay.
But other than that, she also does something else in the in that part of the anime that just makes you hate her even more.
Oh my gosh, that's the thing, is these characters are just hard to like. Like, they all are bad people, and I guess it makes sense in hindsight, because they are all technically the bad guys from DR1.
Except for Chiaki.
Yeah, except for Chiaki.
Who's an AI.
Yeah. And like that's I can respect that. I like her. She was fine. I think she's only said like one or two things where I was just like, all right. But because she's an AI, there's no reason for me to hate her. But like Soda. Sorry, go ahead.
Does that come from the Junko AI too, then?
No, because Junko used to be real. So it's like a puppet. It's like a Pinocchio thing with Chiaki or Chiaki, where it's like, well, you were never a real boy to begin with, so I can't really blame you. But like Soda got on my nerves so much, to the point where like what is her name? Sonia was the voice of reason in the game. She said everything to Soda that I just wanted to say to him. And where he's just gross.
Yeah, to be honest, doing the fourth trial, I kind of hope he was the murderer.
Yeah. think I said this in stream, is like, any of you could die and any of you could be the murderer, and I just would not care. The only people who were like good to the end or to their end were Sonya, Mary Jane, I guess, Joe, what is his freaking name? Big strong man. Mekomaru, when he gets turned into a little robot guy. And Sum 41, like, he really changes for the better, and like, he became one of my favorite characters at that point, when he made a genuine effort to be better.
Plus, from what I remember from his free time events, he kind of becomes a bit of a bro to Hajime.
Really? That's
if I remember correctly.
That's sweet. See, no, like, Airhead doesn't count because robot, but like, #1 human character right here had a whole arc.
Yeah, and they were actually planning to kill him off in the next chapter.
What?
Yeah, after the second chapter, they planned to kill him, but then they realized, oh shit, he went through all this development. Let's not kill him then. And then they decided to kill Hiyoko instead.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. They made the right call on that one. Wow.
Also, I remember you asking why her bow was tied on the front when they found her corpse.
Yes.
I did some digging, and it turns out that if a woman's kimono bow is tied on the front, it apparently means that she is a prostitute.
Oh.
So I guess it's Mikan's final fuck you to her.
Right. She called her a whore. Okay. I guess that's revenge. Guess that's good enough revenge for being called a pig slut. But
yeah. Plus, that was less planned murder, more of heat of the moment.
Yeah, yeah. That murder though, the double murder, like, I lost it on that one. I say I lost it on that one. I lost it during this whole game. What am I kidding? But like, that was just so needlessly messy. There's a very clean way that Mikan could have taken these guys, both of them, dead, or just killed Twilight and just washed her hands of it, and she'd been fine. Or not kill Twilight, but get Twilight to kill Hiyoko.
That was not how Twilight's despair disease worked.
Anytime somebody told her to do something, she did it, right?
No, she was incredibly gullible. So when someone said, "Hey, Hajime, kill Twilight," and Twilight would be like, "No, please don't kill me." That was her thing.
That's right. Still, I think there was a good set of words, like a combination, like you make a wish with a genie, that could give you what you wanted without running into trouble. No, let me do my music again, sorry. She could say, oh, well, if you walk up this ladder and stick your head in, you win a prize. And then, if you want to make sure that you're the one who killed her, you kick out the ladder. You know what I mean? And then, done and done. There's no worries about, anyone else getting caught. There's no worries about anyone else seeing you. I don't know. I just feel like it could have worked out a little, like...
Essentially try and manipulate her into killing someone else.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I know that's not the point of the game. The point of the game is to, you know, figure out who murdered this person and survive. But, like, that was one of the ones where it's like, oh, it's very easy for you to just win this for free. And now you're the main character. Like, I don't know. It just hurt. It hurt my feelings, that one.
I don't know, maybe they try to avoid the whole manipulate someone else into murder so it's not exactly like the first game.
Yeah. I don't know.
Plus Mikan wasn't exactly mentally stable at the time.
That's true. That is also true. Okay, the despair disease itself. Because they're not really sick, they're all in a digital world with digital monsters. Digimon are the champions. It's essentially the Junko virus giving them insight into what's really going on, or just messing with their settings, essentially.
I think she's just messing with the settings just to make the whole killing game more exciting.
Okay, so she wasn't really trying to, like, plant seeds of, oh, you guys need to solve this to find me. It was literally just because.
Yeah, kind of like with the fourth scenario where she trapped them inside the fun house where they were eventually starved to death unless someone started killing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when you, for example, you had Twilight, Akane, and Nagito all hospitalized. So you got 3 very vulnerable people fresh for killing in any number of ways.
Yeah.
And they only have Mikan, the least physically intimidating person guarding them.
Right.
And she also has to sleep at some point, so it's kind of like up for grabs for who will try and take the chance to get out of there.
Yeah, you're right. That makes sense. I'm just bitter.
But Kai and I are kind of in an agreement that the third case of all the 3 major games are all kind of bad.
Yeah. I think we were talking about that before, yeah.
Like the first game, it was a little too obvious that it was Celeste who did it because of how involved she was in it.
Yeah.
And then there's this one where I think it was mostly because we just don't like Mikan. And then there's the third game that I don't really want to say in case you still want to play it or not.
I'm heavily debating on whether I will. You know, obviously it won't be till next year because I've made a plan. I'm just gonna play one a year until I get through them all, because that's a lot of mental stress with these games.
Yeah, the end of the third game was also kind of a big head scratcher for me, because I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I am thoroughly confused.
Oh no. Oh man, that means I'm gonna be like double lost. But okay.
But I will say this: I will say that it's not as bad as the second game. There is a character who realized to do like innuendos, or not much innuendos. She just directly says it as it is. But she's kind of, I would say, she's kind of funny about it.
Right. Okay. I can do like an innuendo joke that's not like just straight up perverted. You know what I mean?
This one is just foul mouth to the core.
Okay.
And like, for example, she calls one character a what was it? A failed little abortion.
Oh. God.
But trust me, he kind of deserves it.
Dang.
But
All
yeah,
right.
they made it. But yeah, they made another character in the third game who kind of like in the other games who have like zero good personality traits, almost all bad, and somehow the fans, including me, love her.
Okay, I'm excited for that one.
I can send you a video later that doesn't reveal like any spoilers or anything. It's just her saying some lines, and yeah, it's she's a character.
Man, yeah, send me that. Oh, kind of circling backwards. What characters did you like? Like, what would you say was your favorite character?
I would have to say Sonya because I enjoyed her talking with her the most.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah,
and then there's Baby Gangster because of his later development and his free time events from what I could remember.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember much of Mary Jane. I remember I warmed up to her, but not much else.
Okay. I'm excited. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And Peko, I actually maxed out her free time events first.
Yeah.
And then she died, which I was like, oh, okay, I guess this happens now.
Yeah, I'm broken now.
Almost all the girls I talked to died, except for Nurse and Brad. I didn't talk to them at all.
That's completely fair. I'm excited to go back and hang out with Mary Jane a little bit because like I felt like she could have been one of my favorite characters if she didn't like die so early in the game.
She starts off a little rough with the whole a boy should be able to handle that and stuff.
Yeah.
But she does warm up to the player, I would say.
Okay. That's good. Man, I must have just deleted my notes. I'm sorry. I don't know if you can see my mouse has kind of been flying across screens. I've been searching for it.
I have been trying to spot the mouse, but I can't find it. Oh yeah, I also like the Gundam just because I just imagine that he will be a fun guy to play D&D with because he seems like he will just get really into it.
Yeah.
To a point you can't tell if he's just playing along or if this is just how he is.
Right. Yeah, I enjoyed doing his voice. Like his voice. Though I enjoyed finding that voice for him. He said some random stuff too. What was the one that like really caught me off? I think it was like Speak Sinner or something like that. It was like when you go up to him and talk, he says something and he calls you a sinner. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And then it went downhill a little bit as it went on, but like yeah, I initially really kind of didn't hate him. But yeah, he was all right.
I enjoyed his presence.
Yes.
And I guess we have to talk about Nagito because he's kind of unavoidable.
Yeah, I've been trying, but all right. Let's start with the ultimate lucky student. He is the ultimate lucky student, but also Makoto is the ultimate lucky student?
Yes.
How are there two ultimate lucky students?
This is kind of like from the from what I can remember from the what's it called, supplemental material,
Mm-hmm.
and what I can gather is just that the principal and the steering committee is basically just the some old guys who works behind the scenes. They just really were fascinated by the talent of luck, like how it can actually be used and such.
Right. Okay.
And I think it's like, since this cast is like they're like a year older than the first cast, then I guess they can have like people with the same talent in, as long as they go in different like year or something.
Okay. So the ultimate like baseball star could be used year after year. Just not two. There can't be two ultimate baseball stars in the same class or same year, I guess.
Possibly. There's, from what I could gather from the wiki, there's no really other case of two students having the same talent. Except for the third game, to be honest, but that's a whole different can of worms.
Okay. All right. The arm. The arm.
Yes.
The arm really fucking confuses me. How? Why?
If you're gonna ask me how he managed to recover the arm, I don't know.
That's the first part, is because she got fully flattened and like set on fire.
If I'm gonna be honest, I think the developers kind of regret that they squished her.
Right. That's what it seems like, is they like, oh man, we have this great villain and we can never use her again. But what if we could?
Yeah.
That explains, like, I guess it's a good twist. I guess. It's
I don't see it as much as a twist, but more it gives clues to the twist.
right.
Like, because we see him going to the island and he has the arm, but from what we could remember when he was alive in the game, he didn't have Junko's arm. So it's like, what is this?
That's another kind of thing that I wanted to know, is their digital consciousness or whatever when they're uploaded into this thing to stay alive. Wouldn't he just show up in the world with one arm? Like,
No, because they are put in there as they were before attending Hope's Peak, like the characters in the first game.
You're right. Okay, I completely forgot about that.
It's also why Hajime is who he is, because after he attended the reserve course, his personality was overridden by the new personality he got when he got all the talents.
Right. Okay.
And also how Baby Gangster still has two eyes.
Yeah, you're right. And I was gonna say how Brat Hiyoko is like a child size, and then you got the newspaper clipping where she's adult size, like a fully grown woman.
The first time I saw that, my first thought was, is that her sister?
Yeah, I was like, is that her mom or something? Like, but I don't know, man.
But no, she hits like a major growth spurt within 6 months, and suddenly she looks like, like the others.
That's crazy. Okay. The book. Did he just lie about the fact that Haji was a reserve course student, or was he actually a reserve course student?
He was a reserve course student.
Okay. I couldn't remember. It was just the dialogue kept switching back and forth on that, and I'm just like, I don't care anymore. But
No, he attended the reserve course part of the school because he really wanted to be special, I guess.
and I guess his parents were rich enough.
Yeah, yeah, him and like what was it, little 2,000 other students.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and Baby Gangster's sister.
Oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about that storyline.
Yeah, she's mostly her most visible part in the franchise is in the anime because she goes to the same class as Hajime.
Oh, okay.
And she's a brat.
Really? Is she as bad as Hiyoko?
I wouldn't say so. She talks big.
Oh, I got you. She wants to be a gangster as well.
It's more like she wants. The reason she goes to the reserve course is because, yeah, she wants to go to the, where the talented people are. Mm-hmm. And the reason she wants to is because she wants to be someone special who is good enough to stand by her brother.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So she was like obsessed with getting into the main course. So she was thinking of ways to do it, and she might have hinted what she was going to do to the girl who eventually kills her.
Jeez. Okay.
This is all anime stuff. So if you want to watch it for yourself, just say so, and I'll stop and give too many spoilers.
I'm not too big on caring about spoilers. I might watch it. The anime is probably going to be the hardest thing for me to like sit down and watch. You know what I mean? Whereas like the games, at least I can stream those. Or supplemental material I can read on my computer or whatever.
The one bit that Hiyoko does, and then the one bit that happens at the start of it in the first arc, those are probably gonna be like the hardest for you to get through in terms of the innuendo stuff.
Right.
But otherwise, for the rest of it, it's not that bad on that front. My biggest problem with it is that I think it kind of ruins some of the characters from the games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's mostly from what we have gathered from Mukuro, from If, because I think I and many others think she was kind of ruined in the anime.
Right. Huh. Okay.
And then there's also how Junko manipulates people. It's also kind of like that's how she did it. Because from games, it just seemed like she was a master manipulator.
Right.
And then what they did in anime, it was just kind of okay. That doesn't seem that special.
Right. Okay. I have a small question, or a couple questions regarding the spread of despair, as it were, after Junko died and her followers decided to follow her.
Are we talking about the class, or are we talking about the whole movement?
We're talking about the movements and the things that they did to embody despair. Mainly the idea of starving yourself and cutting off your arm and putting it against yours, and taking your eye out and replacing it with hers, and that one that I really don't want to say.
The one that we all just forget about.
Yeah, dude, that, it was so difficult for me to continue playing after that. Like I'm sure you could, yeah, I'm sure you could hear just the amount of stress in my voice.
I was really worried about you in that moment.
Oh my goodness, man! It was ridiculous. Like some ideas you don't have to implement. Some ideas you can get the point across without having to outright say it, approve it, have it drawn, approved by more people, voice acted, and then put in your game.
Japanese developers, man, they don't have any chill.
Golly. But my question for that, when I know, some people they the idea is they tried to have children with her deceased body. But Mikon refers to Junko as her love or her lover. And it's hinted at in the game that she's bisexual. But I just, in my playthrough, I didn't see it, I guess. See any of the other side of the coin, as it were. Does she ever, like, is she actually dating or been with Junko, or didn't, like, what's that about?
Okay, so we primarily see this in the anime because she kind of gets kidnapped by Mukuro and then brought to Junko, and then somehow off screen she becomes infatuated with her and falls to despair. And
okay,
if anything actually physical happened with them, I don't think so.
Okay. All right, that one kind of like stuck with me too. It's like, well, she said so, and it's even on the home screen, like the home video or whatever, that she's, boy or girl, like she likes both. But okay. I think I had asked this before in the stream, but I wasn't quite sure. I don't remember if I got an answer or not. Sum 41, Baby Gangster. Did he take his eye out and put Junko's in there or Mukuro's in there or whatever? Is that like a theory? Is that why he has an eye patch?
It's a theory because the last time we see him at the end of the Despair arc of Dangan Round 3, he has both eyes, and then at the start of the Future arc, he has an eye patch.
Okay.
So it's strongly believed that it's Junko's eyes he has operated into his own sockets.
Right. Okay. Another question. Is Mechamaru dead? Is Nekamaru is he dead in the real world?
Oh, they're all alive.
They're all alive.
Except for Chiaki.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Chiaki is actually a real person in the real world in the Despair arc.
Okay.
And that was something that the fan base was a little split about, not in a heated way, but some were just disappointed because they thought that she was just made to get them all to not kill each other and all that.
Yeah.
They didn't think she was an actual person.
Right. Yeah, I could understand that. Like, oh, my music again though. But the idea that Nekamaru is alive, and then he's killed, turned into or he's kind of killed, turned into a robot to save him, and then killed for real, and then turned into a tinier robot. It's very confusing for me because I'm like, so is he dead or not in that context? You know, in the game world, I guess.
I would say that he is dead in the game world, but a copy of him, like the little doll thing, is taking his place, sorta.
Okay. He's one of those one of those things where I'm just like, all right, so what are we doing here? Because he's just like, well, if people can die, why can't we just bring this guy back as many times as we need?
Well, maybe in the context of Dangan, it's because he was on the verge of death when Monokuma got to him and put him in the hospital.
Right.
Then turned him into a robot. This is also just a theory. I have never thought about the logistics of how he could be turned into a robot post-death or something like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Like I said, I've just got random stuff that just bothered the hell out of me.
Stuff that happens to me too. Sometimes I can talk about one point and then I will just talk for like 30 minutes about something completely unrelated because I just think, hey, that reminds me of something like this, and this is related to that somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of, this is related to that somehow. Let's talk about the ultimate imposter. So, what is the point of being the ultimate imposter if you apply to go to school?
He was scouted.
So he was found.
Yeah, every student at Host Peak gets scouted, except for the from Kodo who just won a lottery.
Right. My question then is, if he's the ultimate imposter, how did they find him?
I don't know.
It's like saying, you know, oh, I'm the ultimate hide and seek champion, and then they find you. It's like, well, I guess I'm not the ultimate anymore.
You were the best one they could find.
That's fair. That's true. So, which means there could be another, more ultimate imposter in theory.
Yeah, but was so good that didn't get scouted.
You're so good you failed.
Okay. Is it really fail if you were so good you couldn't be found?
Well, shut up. No. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so why was he Byakuya? Like, I know he's pretending to be Byakuya, but why was he Byakuya when school started?
For some reason, he decided to dress up as him, even before Byakuya was scouted for the school. But the thing is, he wasn't during the actual school years. He wasn't actually Byakuya. He was disguised as another student within the class who wasn't in the game, who was strictly in the anime.
Oh, okay. See, that's interesting, actually, because I thought. So wait, did he just dress up in the game?
Well, before the school year started in the anime, he found the guy. He found the classmate that he decided to dress up as, and decided to take care of him because that guy is the ultimate animator, and yeah, he is working himself to death.
Oh, okay. I see.
So he decides to take care of him, make sure he actually eats and stuff, but also decides to take his place in class. So he kind of attends class, but for some reason they never really addressed that they're missing one student.
Well, I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure that happens all the time. No,
That reminds me, if you're in the main course, if you're one of the talented students, you don't actually have to attend classes.
really?
It's only the reserve course students who have to actually attend classes like a normal high school.
So then there's a question. If you don't have to attend classes, you can just like fuck off all day, I guess. Like you don't. What's the point of?
You're essentially there because of your talent. As long as you maintain it, you don't have to worry about anything else.
Wow.
So yeah, you can just attend classes if you want to.
So it's like in high school when you're failing your classes, but you're really good at football or whatever. So people let your grades slide a little bit. As long as you keep winning regionals for us, where you can keep getting B pluses.
I guess I have to take your word for it because we don't really have that kind of thing here.
Yeah, people like in America, a lot of students will.
I have heard about like scholarships and all that, but we don't. Well, but we don't have anything that's like that. Like sports, like if you want to play professional and stuff, it's separate from schools and that.
Oh, see, I think that's a better idea because, like I was saying, is a lot of people just boost these students' grades so that they can just focus on sports and football or whatever, or soccer or basketball, name the sport, and you end up making dumb kids who can run fast, but by golly, it's going to put your school on the map. It's going to get more funding to your students and stuff like that.
The only time where, in my case, where like football and my school were connected was when they decided to have a football tournament where each school from the areas compete against each other. That's like the only time, and that's it.
Right. Dang.
But other than that, we just have like clubs that works like independent of schools and such.
Okay. That's pretty neat, actually. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea better. We'll bring that to our Congress and we'll tell them I'll tell them you sent me.
Yeah, I'm sure they are excited to fix that problem.
It's very pressing. There's nothing else in America that's a problem right now. What are you talking about?
Hey, it's a good thing to distract people with.
Yeah, exactly. But okay. I guess that's kind of all I had off the top of my head. I think I got everything on my list, even though my list magically disappeared. Again, I apologize about that.
That's fine.
But yeah.
But is there like any other questions around the franchise and such that you may be curious about?
Are these games terribly popular still? Like
sort of. I still think that the fan base is still very active.
Okay.
People there are like a couple of like fan games where they just decide to make their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been meaning to try one of them, but I think they don't have a fully English translation of it. So yeah.
That'd be interesting to try as fan games. Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah,
because
pretty active
yeah,
fan base. Sorry.
yeah, because I've seen like thumbnails of people who just make full-on playthroughs of those things, and I'm like, I want to watch it, but I want to play it instead.
I completely understand that. There are a couple of like streamers or videos that I have in my watch later because like I want to play this game first. And I I know at least 2 of those have been in my watch later for about 4 years, and I still haven't picked up the game that they're reviewing. But I will get to them. I lied. Oh, we have a we have our what is it? Possible in ban evader. Yeah, we have a bot. Let me figure out how I can get rid of this thing again. Click on name. I have to say it out loud every time to remember how to freaking do it. Click on name. Ban. Close. I did it. I remembered. Oh, are they gonna make another one? Like, I know they've been making spin-off kind of things like this Code Rain or 100 Man Line. Is that what it's called?
Technically, the 100 line doesn't have anything to do with Spike Chunsoft.
Oh, it doesn't?
Okay, so after Danganronpa V3, Kodaka kind of left and made his own studio.
Okay.
So, but he worked with Spike to make Raincoat Plus. Like his company develops it, and then Spike they publish it. And 100 Line is, I don't think Chunsoft is actually involved in it in any capacity.
Really? Okay.
So
he's kind of like a Miyamoto type, I guess. He kind of works along, he works independently, but he does make his stuff for Nintendo, kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of. But his company is just described as former Spike Chunsoft employees who decided to just go independent, but they still seem to have relatively good ties with Spike Chunsoft, and I think I read somewhere that he is open to go back to the Danganronpa series at some point in the future.
Okay. Dang.
But is there going to be another one after the spin-off summer camp game? I don't know. There's been no news about it.
Okay. How long ago did that summer's game come out? It was like 4 years ago now, right?
4 years for the Nintendo Switch version, I think, and then maybe 3 for the like general console release.
Okay. Wait a minute. Sorry, I should have put this on screen. I was Googling what other games that Spike Chunsoft made. They made Jump Force? That's horrific.
Why is that horrific?
Okay, so I actually don't mind Jump Force. A lot of people hate Jump Force, and I can understand why. But I just can't believe horrific is the wrong word, but it's unbelievable is probably the better word I should use. To go from like visual novels like these and just see, oh yeah, you have like one of the most highly anticipated fighting games that ever came out. It kind of blew me to the side for a second. Sorry. Where is display capture? There it is, window. But yeah,
But yeah, I'm looking at the Jump Force wiki page, and I don't think actually was involved in it.
You're breaking up just a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. You're
I,
good.
I was just saying that from what I can read, it doesn't seem like anyone who worked on Danganronpa was working on Jump Force.
Okay, so just a different section of the company. Okay.
Yeah, to be frank, I'm primarily just looking after Kodaga's name, and he's not involved in any way.
Right. Okay. That's fine.
It's actually funny now that I see your screen now with the Cyber Danganronpa VR.
Uh-huh.
I played that before V3 came out, and yeah, it's just a demo VR game of where they play the fourth trial of the first game, and yeah, you see it from Makoto's point of view, and the guy and the characters just jump around and stuff when they say stuff, and but after your first when you first contradiction and all that, it suddenly cuts. It's a demo, and then from your point of view, you're in like almost the same position as Makoto was,
Right.
doing his execution, and Monokuma is just dancing in front of you while the crusher just goes up and down.
Oh my gosh.
And when it cuts to black, it just reveals the reveal of Danganronpa V3. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
So they made a whole VR game as an ad for another one of their games.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Kodaga,
oh my gosh.
Kodaga, he's a bastard.
Man.
And I both love him and hate him for it.
Man, what is Super Mystery Dungeon? Is this a real Pokemon game? I don't know anything about Pokemon, like, games. No, I guess it's real.
I quit playing Pokemon games after the third generation.
That's fair. That's completely fair. I've never actually, like, fully played a Pokemon game. The most I've played is, like, maybe an hour of Shining Pearl, and then I played Pokemon Go and the card. My wife and I play the card game app on the phone. We just open new packs every day.
Oh man, before like something like actual school, Pokemon, we all played it. Like Generation 1, it was the one thing that everyone just really loved to play it.
Yeah.
It was an experience. And then Generation 2, I think I said this before on the Discord, but my sister had a copy of it, but it was in German. So we had no idea what was being said.
Dang.
So we just did what kids do when they don't play something with a language they don't understand. They just try everything.
Yeah, you just make you
and
start
somehow
to figure out what things do.
And somehow my sister and I were able to beat the game multiple times.
Wow, that's incredible.
Because after the first time, you kind of just sort of remembers what you have to do.
Right. Start recognizing symbols and stuff like that. Words, maybe you can, at least with German, I think you could kind of like twist it into, oh yeah, that's kind of like the English word or whatever.
Some of the words, some of the words don't even like get translated. Some of them just still sticks, but
that's nice.
But it's also just very much a trial and error of like, if this attack is very effective, okay, we know what this attack does and who's effective against that. We gotta recognize the name of it.
Right. That's pretty dang good.
Plus, I think my sister was starting to learn German at that time, so she could kind of tell.
Right.
not a lot of it.
I think I've said it before, both on Discord and in stream, but my brother, when he was stationed in Korea, he had sent us a Xbox that was modded, and it had like, this is back when the original Xbox was out and data was not like a lot. This thing had a 2 terabyte hard drive in it somehow, and it had every like arcade cabinet game, and it had Nintendo games on it, it had PlayStation games on it. The only thing it really didn't have on it was Xbox games, ironically.
That sounds sort of illegal.
It was incredibly illegal. And he sent it to us, and me and my siblings played the shit out of that thing. But a lot of the games were in Korean, so we couldn't read them. So we would just kind of guess what they were saying. Like, there were a bunch of, like, cabinet fighting games. That's how I first played King of Fighters, which ended up being my favorite fighting game series ever. Was on there, and it was just somewhere in Korean, somewhere in Japanese, and you just kind of guess what people were saying. And then, I played and beat... Oh, wrong. No, yeah, right thing. I played and beat Mario 64 on an Xbox, an original Xbox as a child. Like, that's just a weird thing to think about. But yeah, I completely understand where the different language games thing.
Yeah, it was it was kind of not really that big of a challenge because my sister and I were kind of used to playing games that in language we didn't understand when we were kids.
Right.
So it just became a routine of just push every button, see what happens.
I completely get that one. But I think we've kind of fallen off of the topic of Danganronpa, and I think...
Yeah, I told you this was happening.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we'll just see where we go. But yeah, Ranger, this has been awesome, actually. This went so much smoother than I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah, once the technical difficulties was solved.
Yeah. A peek behind the curtain, we got in a call, and I don't know if you could hear me, but I couldn't hear you. And it was instant panic on my side, just trying to, like, check everything I did. And then my headphones died.
Yeah, I kind of remember why it was set to push to talk, because months ago I've been playing a Starship Troopers game where it was apparently actually set to voice activation, and I didn't like that because I didn't want them to hear everything I was saying.
Right.
So I just frantically just looked up how do I set it to push to talk, because I keep forgetting that Discord has a settings menu.
Right. Yeah, I'm so, like, over the last 2 or 3 years, I've become way more computer literate, but I couldn't, I don't know how to do anything on a computer, and if I do something, like, I have to do it 6 times before I remember what I did. That's why Photoshop has been very helpful, because I'll be able to, like, go through my settings on the side and, like, see a log of everything I pressed to remember how I got an effect or something like that. And it's saved my life. But I think, we got an hour and a half? I think we did pretty alright. I think we should do this again sometime. Maybe for, other games or just hanging out. But Danganronpa is a good place to start.
Yeah, I'm totally up for it. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I know you said you had a list, but I kind of thought there would be like more questions, like maybe like that was going like beyond 2.
Yeah, I had some on 1, but I can't remember them because I have a horrible brain. All the more reason to do this again.
Yeah, once you find the list, turns out to be right next to you after you
Exactly. I'm gonna
the stream.
minimize OBS, and it's gonna be like sitting right behind it, like.
Kind of like when I suddenly told you about the auto skip button.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I felt like an idiot.
Halfway through the franchise, and then I found out that it had an auto skip button.
Oh my gosh.
And during the last trial, when there's that ability button that you could use that basically turned it from hard to very easy.
Yes. Look,
and
man,
to be honest,
I'm blind. All right. Go ahead.
And to be honest, I didn't know what it would do. I never used it, so I was just curious what would happen if you did it.
It's like I'm happy to be a test bunny for you. Like I'll be your lab rat, I guess. But oh man. But yeah, it'll probably be October when I hit volume 3. If I hit volume 3, I'll probably play volume 3. I've thought about it. It's downloaded on my computer, just sitting there. But I'm definitely gonna go through more of the hangout stuff on 1 and 2, and through 3, maybe I'll have more questions for you for those stuff as well.
Have you thought about Ultra Despair Girls?
Oh yeah. I forgot about that one. Should I play that one before 3?
Yeah, because yes, because it's hard to explain, but yeah, you should play it before, because the ending of V3, it kind of turns everything upside down, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But judging by your reaction to some of the things that happen in 2 at the end, I still feel like I need to warn you about it, because there's a chapter in Despair Girls that will definitely push you to your limits of what you are willing to endure.
Right.
Because as I mentioned before, it contains child abuse, the whole game.
Oh.
And primarily when you meet the children in question, who are the antagonists. But I enjoy the game because it's mostly just kind of fun going around shooting different kinds of Monokuma robots with a megaphone gun. Like, there's some bullets that can actually make them dance and stuff.
That's cool.
But it does deals with heavy topics, and
yeah,
judging by your reaction to some of in 2, I want you to play it because I think it's fun, but I also don't want you to play it in case it makes you like depressed or something like that, because you yourself are a parent to small kids, and
yeah,
I have encountered people who have played it then stopped after chapter 3 because it was just too much for them.
Right.
And
okay.
Specifically chapter 3 is because that one deals with a victim of SA.
Right. Okay.
And of course, in Dangan fashion, it kind of dance around it being serious about it, and then sometimes try to make a bit of fun about it.
See, that's the kicker for me. Like, that was the kicker in this game, is they couldn't decide if sexual abuse was a joke or deathly serious. And they tried to have their cake and eat it as well at the same time of oh, ha ha ha, like you can stare at my boobs if you want, or don't look up my skirt. But also, you know, my mom's boyfriends used to touch me when I was 15. Is like, you can't say both of those things. Like you can't.
I would say that in also Asparagus, it is taken more serious, but there's still like moments of like that just makes you question if these people who made it know what tone is.
Fair.
But otherwise, as I said, I like it. It's kind of just a fun spin-off, third-person spin-off, and I would say it kind of makes Toko more likable because she's the main character in that one.
Really?
Yep.
Toko?
Yeah, what do you think she was doing? Well,
I'm not playing this game. No, I'm just kidding.
You can actually play as her, sort of.
Really? Okay, okay.
Yeah, you can play as her serial killer persona.
Oh, it's like Genocide Jack or whatever. Genocide Jill?
Yep.
Huh.
And,
Oh.
yeah, she's essentially just a temporarily invincible character when you play as her. And sometimes she will have this ultimate attack mode that essentially just kills all the enemies, but it done so comedically. Like, for example, if you activate it, sometimes it will essentially have all the robots get a haircut, and they suddenly just a line of Monokumas will just appear with haircuts that has the same haircuts from the characters from the first game.
That's amazing.
You also get to find out who the loved ones that were used for the other characters in the first game.
Oh yeah, the tapes. Well, we don't have to wrap up now. If you want to talk about that a little bit, I guess, is that kind of spoilery?
It depends what about it. I am up to talk more about it if you're willing to.
Yeah. Well, let me back up just a hair. So you said that's what Toko was doing during Danganronpa 2?
This actually takes place between 1 and 2.
Okay. What was Static doing? What was Hero doing? Is like
he was sort of maybe also in the same location, but okay, so after you complete the game, kind of like in 2, you get a novel that centers around him and
really
one of the loved ones of the characters from the first game.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's canon or not, to be honest.
Oh no. Man. Oh, let's do that again.
But yeah, what the Hero and Asahina is doing in the background in big picture,
Oh yeah, Hina's alive too. I forgot.
Yeah, she's not in the same department as Makoto and such.
Is she just does she get the coffee and the donuts? I guarantee.
Don't know. She's just in a different division.
I feel like she should just do that. She can be the donut girl.
I kind of forgot what division, what her division does, because yeah, they have all these different divisions that does all sorts of stuff. Like Kyoko's division, yeah, apparently she's the leader of her own division already. Their job is like PR and stuff, like trying to promote like their cause and such.
Hey, buy our pamphlet.
Yeah, probably. I
Okay.
mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. The air is poisoned. Your house is ruined, and your family's dead. But hey,
Yeah.
we're here. We can listen to your problems.
Yeah. Look what we
Oh
can
my
do.
god.
We have
Oh my.
sunglasses.
Actually, they don't.
They don't?
No, that's for pointless stock characters in the background.
Then what's the point?
I don't know, pamphlets. Also, Byakuya is like second in command.
Ugh. Yuck.
Yeah, he ain't done yet.
That's why they need to make another one, because I don't know anything about 3. But if he doesn't die in 3, he needs to die in 4. They need to keep making these until Byakuya dies. And I'll keep playing.
Byakuya will never die.
Damn it!
He will find some way to slime his way out of every dangerous situation.
He finally dies, and it's the ultimate imposter again. Like, he just lost weight. And so
yeah.
But no.
One of his many siblings.
He has siblings? I thought he had like... No, that's right. He had like 5, right?
No, he had like 15 or something.
What?
How far into his free time events did you go through?
I don't... I think I actively avoided him after a while. So not very far.
Okay, because that kind of goes into deeper lengths of how he came to be. But yeah, he has like a lot of siblings because apparently it's just a tradition within the family that whoever is the head of the family gets as many children as possible with different people, and then those kids are going to like have some sort of tournament of who's going to become the next head of the family. And Byakuya was like the youngest of 15 and he won. And all the rest essentially are quote unquote dead to the family and just live like ordinary lives.
That sounds like a cult. Like, I'm not gonna even lie. That sounds just like a cult.
A business-minded cult.
Yeah. Like the Mormon Church. No, I shouldn't say that. But the... shoot, I lost what I was gonna say. Oh, the backstories on people. Are there any in Danganronpa 1 of those, like, tapes or whatever that we don't get to learn about?
There are no other tapes that have been shown.
Okay, so we don't get to see the loved one, or know about the loved ones of anyone else.
In the Spare Girls, we find wanted bounty posters of the loved ones.
Okay.
So yeah, you got like a wanted poster for like Kumao, Makoto's sister. We got a wanted poster for Taka, Soldier Boy's dad, and one of Celeste's cat.
Okay. So, at the very least, we learn about, like, the loved one that was in danger. We don't necessarily learn anything about them or see any videos, but we do kind of... It's inferred that, oh, this was the person that was, like, on the tape, maybe.
Story-wise, you do meet, like, 3 of them.
Okay.
And one of them is Hina's little brother.
Hina's little brother. Okay.
The other one, the other one is Hiro's mom.
Okay.
Yeah, she's kind of cool.
I would love to meet Hiro's mom. I would love to ask her questions about her son.
She says that he's just kind of. Actually, I don't remember what she said. I think she tried to make like excuses for him or something.
Right.
in a way that a mother does.
Yeah. And my precious baby boy couldn't, he's just having a hard time right now.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, also there's and also just because you are essentially just fighting a lot of different kind of Monokuma robots. Some of them are horrifying. Like
Okay.
some of them just look like mismatched robot parts that just. How do you? What? Who designed you like that? And some of them just have funny like death animation for the main character, like the regular Monokuma robots that are apparently now human-sized.
Right.
Just eats Kumaru whole like a dog. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god. Okay, so I in my mind for some reason thought it was like a side-scrolling shooter, like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. This is a 3D game.
Yeah, there's only like
Okay.
there's only like one time where it's like side-scrolling, and that's after you escape the apartment that Kumaru was trapped in.
Okay. Neat.
Because she has been trapped in that apartment for like a year.
Jeez. Man. Oh, another quick question, I guess. What is I know the ultimate, most heinous, most too many fucking words despair
The
thing-
tragedy.
The tragedy. Yeah. Like in your own words, can you tell me what happened?
Yes. It started after Junko essentially had the reserve course student body basically go over to the where all the talented people are, killed them all, had all the reserve course then commit suicide, and then the whole world decided just to embrace despair and just commit like social upheaval, and yeah.
Dang. Okay.
She essentially just inspired a sort of class warfare.
Right. Alright. That, unfortunately, is kinda disappointing. Because I really thought, these people were just like... Somehow Junko convinced people to, like, launch nukes. You know what I mean? Like, this was the end of the world type stuff. And it just kind of seems like a normal, quote-unquote, apocalypse type thing. Where just civil unrest, but without the cool explosions.
Well, they kind of revere her as some sort of god, and essentially just inflicting misery just for the sake of it.
Right.
Plus, there's also like a giant Monokuma robot going around knocking down skyscrapers.
Alright, that's cool. But when does Godzilla show up? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, Monokuma killed it, maybe. Oh yeah, quick question. Who do you think made some of those robots?
Oh, it's absolutely, what's this? Soda.
Yep.
Soda absolutely made that stuff.
Yeah, he made some of them, but they are actually being mass-produced somewhere else.
That kind of led me into something I remember that was on the list. The door. The future door. Why does it look like the door for the school? Like, why design it that way?
At the start of the second game?
The door with the Gatling gun in front of it. Future door.
Oh, in front of the ruined...
Yeah, the ruins door. Yeah, this one. Why does this look like the other door? Like, behind this wasn't the Clash Trial door in the first game. If anything, it was on the other. It was on this side that in this picture Mary Jane is on.
I think that's just Junko just messing with them.
Okay. And then side question: what the hell is this about? Is it another just to add atmosphere kind of thing?
I don't know. I think it's also just to give the player early hints on you're not in the real world.
Right. Which I did not appreciate you gaslighting me.
Well, I have to make this exciting somehow.
Yeah. But man.
Also, I wouldn't say I gaslight you all the time. I did tell the truth sometimes. I just omitted some things.
I swore to tell the truth, but not the whole truth. And
I
there
will
is no
tell
God.
the truth, but in parts.
I got
If
you.
that will hold up in court, I don't know.
No, like, the fact that this was, like, old and ruined, or whatever, is this just more Junko messing with things? Or was this actually, like, designed to be like this?
The actual Host Peak Academy before and after the tragedy does not look like that.
Okay.
After the tragedy, it actually got, like, a lot of guns mounted to it.
Okay.
I mean, people were trying to get the cast out of there.
I forgot about that, the live streaming stuff. So people were just watching the first game, like, on TV and betting on it and, watching these guys survive and whatever, right?
They just watched it.
Okay. Just watched it.
Yeah, Junko's big plan behind it was to basically because the cast of the first game was supposed to be like the last hope of the world to try and survive, and she decided to mess with that by showing that these survivors will also fall to despair and try and kill each other for whatever reason.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's essentially just been her plan from day one since she arrived at the school to just spread despair. Whether it was to actually end the world, I think that just came along the way.
Right. Okay, it was just kind of a well, since I'm here type deal.
Yeah, because she wasn't actually scouted for the school. It was actually the steering committee, like the shadow people behind it, that wanted her for some reason.
So there are other big bads besides her?
Yeah, they're not exactly bad guys. They're definitely not good guys, but they were a bunch of greedy men.
I see. Okay.
I don't know the reason why they really wanted Junko to attend the school, but they just overruled the principal, Kyoko's dad, and whenever something went wrong, they just blamed him.
Okay.
Because he's the one who's in charge of the school and the students, not them.
Right. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
But yeah, Junko essentially just had them all killed.
I see. Oh, no, yeah, I do remember that now. I do remember. The shadowy figures.
Some in horrible ways.
Really?
There's one, I think he was a member of them, who she somehow has him captured and hogtied in a kitchen, and she just makes like rice and curry and stuff, she takes like a taste of it, and then she takes the spoon that she just ate from, and it still has some of the rice and curry and stuff on it,
Right.
and slowly inches closer to one of his eyes.
Oh, dang.
And for what we can see from his face, he looks terrified.
Yeah, I'll bet. Good God.
And it actually has more meaning behind it other than showing her cruelty, because later her and her sister infiltrate a facility and she's just eating like round stuff that you eat with like toothpicks or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really think much about it. Then she went up to a door, pokes one of the balls, and just show it up front of what is a retinal scan. And I'm like, wait, couldn't you have accidentally ate that eyeball or something? I'm like, oh gosh, she really is insane.
Golly. What was this about? I just saw this and I was just, why was it called the Titty Typhoon? Is it just a joke?
I don't know. All I know is I giggle like a schoolboy when I see it.
I remember I was just running across the screen. I'm like, yep, okay, so we have the medical bay, the electronic alley, the titty typhoon. The what? The titty typhoon? We're going in here. Golly.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly have thought it would be like a music club venue.
I was kind of worried it was going to be like a strip club, which...
But where are the strippers? And they're all just Monokuma.
Yeah, you get like the buff Monokumas up there, like Chippendale dancers, just going at it.
I'm just imagining just a bunch of Monokumas doing the YMCA now.
Oh man.
Yeah, the best part is it wouldn't be out of character for Monokuma to do that.
No, I do have a little bit of a gripe, I guess. Monokuma versus Junko or Mukuro. Which one is it? Junko.
If you're talking
Junko
about
dies.
if you're talking about the mastermind behind all of it, it's Junko.
Junko. Okay.
Mukuro was just a muscle.
Right. So the idea of Monokuma being Junko, is she talking through Monokuma, or is Monokuma just his own thing? Like, what's happening with that? That never really gets clarified, in my opinion.
Well, in the first game, it turned out it was just Junko who pretended to be Monokuma when she was in the control room. Then the second game, I just figured that it's just Junko who's just pretending to be Monokuma again.
Right. Okay. Because it kind of the ending of the first game, like that final screen where Monokuma's like, "I'm not a bear, I am Monokuma, and I'll be back," or something like that. He's talking for himself. I just kind of wanted a little bit of clarification on whether or not he's his own thing, like his own person, in a way.
I think they just wanted something to leave as a cliffhanger.
Ah, okay.
Because that bit never gets brought up ever again.
Dang it. I really kind of wanted, I had this idea of, Monokuma and Junko, the both of them being computer programs, essentially. And eventually they start infighting each other for domination and control. Because you got, the ultimate despair, the person who is just crazy for the sake of being absolutely insane. And then you have a robot that she made that could probably surpass her in every way. just because. So that's a little disappointing.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah. It's kind of like the, what have I created type thing.
I think Junko would just enjoy it for a while it lasts.
Yeah. So, I guess you don't have to outright tell me for this one, but do we see Junko ever again?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Because even though she died like in the first game, she still has left a major impact on the world, and
yeah,
because everything that happens is traced back to her, none of it would be as it is because without her interference.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in a way, we have not seen the last of Junko Enoshima.
No, we haven't seen the last of her. She will get referred to. She will be shown like recordings of, and we also get some new scenes of that we haven't seen before.
Okay.
I can say that much without going into spoiler territories for either the anime and V3.
Right. Okay. Man.
But
these games. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, as I mentioned before, V3 will kind of turn your head around.
Okay.
Both in good and bad ways.
Talking about this game,
and it will also break your heart.
It'll break my fuck, dude. Dang it.
Yeah. Listen, I always was broken after the first chapter.
Man. I need you to understand, man. I hate these games so much, but talking about them with you right now is like, yeah, I should play those. I should keep going, and I should go back, and it makes, I guess it helps to have someone to bounce stuff off of like that, because I'm clearly not built for these kind of games, but hearing how much you know and enjoy these games, or how difficult or how hard you found certain situations, is very insightful and encouraging. That maybe this will all be worth it in the end.
I try to focus on the things that I like about them. Like, for example, in 2, it's mostly because of the free time events and the special events, because as I've mentioned before, I like the individual characters of the first game the most, but I like the entire dynamic of the second game the most, because even though in the first game it was supposed to be, they all don't know and distrust each other and don't really want anything to do with one another except for Toko because she's weird.
Yeah.
But in the second game, especially with the extra, with the special events, they are much more. You could better imagine them actually being a class and friends together, because they do some social activities that are really they're happy.
Yeah.
like the last one in the third chapter, they all just gather around. The girls get kimonos on, and they all just go out and enjoy fireworks at night. I'm like, almost half of their friends are dead, but they're still happy.
Right.
Then there's one in chapter 2 that you have to avoid because you would just hate the game even more.
Well, that was something too, is it was so, I'm sure you saw the VOD where I spent probably the entire stream just trying to get to those special scenarios. But the game at a certain point makes it almost impossible to buy items. And of course, I realized that I could just go to the Monokuma machine outside of the actual game, in like the menu, but I forgot. But like trying to get to the store, trying to get to the Monokuma machine, there's a lot of points in the game where it just won't let you. And I found that super frustrating.
Yeah, and also the special wins are very easy missable because you have like one chance to get them, and then that's it.
Right. I understand them being like a special Easter egg if you got all this right, but like those kind of things don't really work well in like a visual novel type of way for these things, because you can't go backwards. You almost, like, most of the time you can't go backwards for these. Whereas, like, in, like, you know, a platformer, you could always try the level again if you wanted.
Yeah, the second game is, I would say, it's less 3D exploration than the first game. Like, I think it's like first in the there's places like that where they had the party, and then there's the fun house and stuff where you can actually like 3D explore stuff. But other than that, there's like not much else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man. Yeah, I think I missed like 4 or 5 of the special events. But, you know, I don't know.
But if it makes you feel any better, you found way more Monokuma models than I did.
Those, like, instant, like, I think when I saw how much I missed in the first chapter, I'm like, alright, I'm locking in. If I'm gonna do one thing, I'm gonna find these bastards. Like, you walk in a room, sweep, up, down, left, right. Alright, there he is, go. But yeah, those were actually kind of fun to find. They hid them pretty well. But
yeah, so well that I don't even think I got half of them.
Man. Oh man, I'm trying to think. I really I'm trying to remember everything that I had. But for the first game, dang it.
Maybe something to do with like Mukuro or the principal, like some characters that we didn't really get to know about.
What? Yeah, like what would you like to tell me about the game? Actually, is probably a good way to go. Oh, I forgot this game. This song talks, and it really confuses me.
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, sorry. What is there anything like, you know, insightful or whatever, or just kind of interesting that you think I should know about from the first game, or you know, kind of things I missed, or extra information on things, like, yeah, the older people at the shadowy figures in the background. Is there anything that helps shape the story more, or is it just kind of more that torture that Junko did, I guess?
Maybe not the first game, but most likely just stuff I read about from some of the books that happens during the school years. It's like, for example, I think I told you about this before in the chat when one of the streams, but there's one story where you follow this new character called Ryoko, who has like severe amnesia all the time, and she's also hope speaks soon and has like really good analytical skills, and But it turns out at the end of the novel that is actually Junko, who actually had her boyfriend perform who's the ultimate neurologist, who performed the memory wipe on her to see if it works.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
And meanwhile, to throw suspicion off her, she has her sister dress up as her and pretend that she's her.
Right, okay. And that's why she was so, like, able to do it again during the actual first game.
Yeah, you could say it as a trial run.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, there's also like 8 identical siblings who are like the ultimate bodyguards, who were in charge of the security of the student council, and it was the student council that Junko like had do the first killing game, doing before the events of the first game. That classroom where there are like markings all over the place.
Yeah.
And dried blood.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were kind of mad that Junko kind of did that because they sort of failed in their job, so they tried to hunt her down.
Oh my gosh.
And one of them think that Makoto is with her, so he kind of holds him hostage, and Mukuro actually saves his life.
Right.
Yeah, she saves his life a couple of times.
Wow. Dang.
But yeah, she killed all eight brothers during that story.
That's jeez. The more I learn about Junko, and Mukuro, the less I want to. I guess they're crazy people, but like, why was Mukuro so okay with going along with some of this stuff? Like, was she also psychotic, but crazy?
This is where the information we get from like the novel If, and where the anime kind of contradicts each other, which is what I kind of dislike about the anime.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that, okay, so for what we gathered from the novel and maybe some of the dialogues in one, I think, is that Mukuro, she left to join a mercenary band when she was like, I don't know, 13 or something. And I think it's implied that she felt like she abandoned Junko when they were at that age,
Right.
And that she essentially loves her to the point that she will do anything for her to sort of make up for that. So there's that. And then there's the anime that kind of makes it weird, let's just say that.
Oh.
But
Weird,
yeah,
like weird.
Weird, like the fan base hate it.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Including me.
Right. Dang. I should watch this anime. No.
You will hate yourself, and I have warned you this time. You can't accuse me of gaslighting you.
Yeah.
No, because Mukuro is the ultimate soldier, so I guess it would kind of make sense that personality-wise she will do everything that she's ordered to do.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's also some interesting aspects to it, because I have to talk about If for it to make sense. So are you going to read it, or are you just happy with an abridged version of it?
I'm happy with an abridged version. First, a quick question. Why is it called If, before you continue?
Because it's a what-if scenario.
Oh, okay. So it's called just If, or is it like Danganronpa If?
It's just Danganronpa If.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Continue. My bad. My bad.
Okay, so it takes place on the day that Sayaka decides to commit murder, and Makoto goes to that vending machine, and he gets and out of it he gets something called labeled the escape button.
Okay.
And when he presses it, he actually gets an electric shock, and it causes him to get like a little dizzy and stuff.
Right.
And so when Sayaka comes and asks to switch rooms with him, he collapses.
Okay.
So it kind of throws her plan like out the window. So she just put that plan on hold and just have been dragged to the nurse's office that Monokuma decides to open up early because it's on like I think the second floor or something.
Right.
He wakes up and he finds Junko, but it's Mukuro sitting by his bedside, make sure that he's alright and stuff, and then it just goes into one of her free time events where they talk about like her dreams and all that, and it's all really touching and stuff, and then it just proceeds to the event where, well, except that Sayaka is alive now, but the whole scene where Mukuro defies Monokuma and where she's supposed to die and stuff.
Yeah.
It turns out that the escape button that Makoto got shocked by actually triggers his own memories, so he's slowly remembering stuff.
Okay.
Like he, when the hall monitor guy says that he's late, Makoto just casually says, "Oh yeah, can you write it up in the daily log?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me." And some of the other characters think like, "How did you know that would work on him?"
Huh.
But when Mukuro is doing her bit, like, "No, I'm not gonna do class trial and stuff," Makoto just had this weird feeling that is not Junko talking, but she's also in danger. So he runs towards her, calls her by her real name, she jumps out of the way, and Makoto actually gets speared by some of the spears.
Oh.
Yeah, only by one of them through the mix section. But Mukuro is alive, and Makoto is, bleeding to death now.
Right.
And everything gets thrown into chaos, sort of. So yeah, the killing game never actually starts, and Mukuro is exposed as the one truly behind it, with Makoto as her helper, and it caused almost everyone to turn against them.
Right.
Junko somehow managed to, or at least tries to trick all of the students into thinking that, I'm from the outside. I'm the ultimate hacker. We have police who's just outside of the school, ready to storm the place, but we don't know if this all rigged or not. But you have to either kill Mukuro or restrain her somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like Junko is just trying to fuck with them.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But Mukuro terribly fails at trying to convince the others that they have to help Makoto. And yeah, Byakuya is definitely the one who's like, yeah, we need to have you guys stay here because we can't trust you and stuff, while Makoto is bleeding on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Mukuro actually ends up fighting Sakura, and she admits that she's almost losing, so she decides to go over to Toko, like bites her own thumb, show the blood in front of her face, yell into her ear, and then she turns into the serial killer, and she just looks at Makoto like, "Oh, I wanted to stab him."
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, the serial killer distracts them all while Muko picks up Makoto and just go to the nurse's office, and she locks the door with a trophy of sorts.
Wow.
But yeah, what follows then is that we then see some exchanges between Mukuro and Monokuma, but also Junko, and that's where we kind of see the relationship they have, where Mukuro acts like someone who really wants to be there for someone she thinks she failed.
Yeah.
But from Junko's side, she is verbally abusive.
Right.
Like, really verbally abusive. Both as Monokuma, but also as herself.
Mm-hmm.
And but she's also sometimes like, but it's also in a well, I only hurt you because I love you and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where I think what their relationship is more interesting rather than what the anime shows us, which it's weird. And but yeah, so it all culminates in that Junko decides to just say, genuinely, for the first time, I guess, in all her life, is in that, you know what, I love you, and then just turns off the TV screen, and then Mukuro takes that as, oh, she essentially cut me out of her life now.
Right. Dang.
Oh yeah, it's also revealed that Mukuro has a crush on Makoto.
What? Oops.
Yep.
What? Oh my goodness. Computer, stop. Okay.
Yeah, because the guy who wrote this is not the same guy who made the series. It's some other guy.
Right.
And he noted with some of the things that he saw in the first game, like, for example, the photos of them being a class.
Mm-hmm.
The only time when she looks at the camera is when Makoto is taking the picture, and some of the other times it looks like she's looking in his direction.
Right.
So he apparently just thought, hey, what if she had like a crush on him or something? And they were like, yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's good enough.
Yeah, and yeah, the reason that they give in story is like very stupid, but it's kind of like it can either be seen as, oh, she has such a terrible history of familial love that was enough to make her like have a crush on him.
Right.
Because the reason is, or at least the reason that Junko says we don't get confirmation from Mukuro if it's true, but that's that apparently Makoto is like the only one who has ever smiled at her genuinely.
Wow.
Yeah, that apparently just makes her go boom, 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 boom.
You're the only person to ever love me.
Or show positive emotions.
Yeah.
With no ulterior intentions.
Jeez.
So yeah, she's the only character that canonically has a crush on Makoto.
Wow. That's like when I was like 12 and there was the girl who said I looked nice, and that was all I needed. For the next like 2 months. I was like, Mom, I love her. Like, good Lord.
But yeah, what follows is the other students eventually like decides to side with her despite not really trusting her.
Mm-hmm.
Like when suddenly there's like an army of Monokumas that's about to like, I don't know, kill her. And then
right.
Mondo comes riding in on the motorcycle that will be used in his execution and save her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's some like awesome stuff that actually happens in the
That's
novel
great.
that I wish was shown in the game.
Right.
And there's also and then there's also like a moment where I think Leon actually saves Sayaka by throwing Hero's glass ball at the Monokuma.
Oh my gosh.
And Sayaka is feeling like really guilty and tells him, Leon, that's something I need to tell you later.
just hold off on how bad you feel. Just hold on. Yeah. Golly.
But Junko gives them like the chance. Okay, listen, I have the actual escape button now, but you have to get it from a Monokuma, and you have like an X amount of seconds to get it before I get them all to detonate.
Mm-hmm.
And what Mukuro does is that she throws a spear at the Monokuma holding the button at a point where it also disarmed the bomb.
Right.
And she has Sakura kick her so she flies through the air and gets it.
Wow. Dude, that's this sounds so much cooler than the game. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's a reason why some of us, especially us who are fan of Mukuro, loves If, because it gives us some insight to some of the insights what happened during their school years, and we actually get like some characterization from Mukuro, a character that was like largely a mystery of how much of her act as Junko was her and how much of it was Junko.
Right. Okay. It gives gives some more flesh to the skeleton of the character in the games, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, and that is why I like her, despite that she's also a terrible human being.
Gosh.
She also I mentioned before that she saved Makoto like twice during the school year. The other time, and this is related to Hero's free time event.
Mm-hmm.
So buckle up. But
Okay.
turns out that Hero had some debt to the Yakuza. And
okay.
And the way that he could repay them back was selling organs. And guess who he asked to sell?
Oh my god.
Yeah, in the free time event, he asked Makoto, and Makoto is of course just like, what? No, I'm not going to do it. And then the hero gets like mad and says, oh, why are you so selfish and stuff? I'm like, this is the final event?
Oh my god.
I him even more. But it turns out according to the dialogue, at least what I might hint at, Mukuro saved Makoto from those organ harvesters. I'm like, did he trick him? Like, oh my god. Hero, I hate you even more somehow. It's like, Jesus Christ, she has been like a saint for that boy.
Yeah, for real. Kind of spinning away from that. I'm gonna try and wind it down a little bit here. A big issue that you and I had was that Sakura is a good person. Or not Sakura. Miku. Sayaka. You think?
Oh yeah, that.
I disagree. Why do you think she is not as evil as I think she is?
Okay, so I will relent and say that yes, she is probably like manipulative, but I don't think she played him from the start. Like what it seems like you think that she did.
Right.
Like, okay, I can relent that. Okay, yes, you might have used him from like security at the start because she's in a school that she doesn't know anything about other than that it's like a prestigious one, and she's trapped with people she don't know except for one guy.
Yeah.
But he's just judging by the free time events and just how she just generally talks with him, and how some of the supplemental materials seems to suggest. It just seems like that she is, and actually, like, despite the whole she's in the industry and all that, she's actually kind of like really nice to him and actually is actually friends with him.
Right.
And also one of the reasons is that she didn't know that everyone else was going to get killed if she got away with it. So I do think that could play a part in that. Won't she try and still go through with this?
Yeah, I'm just very like it the thing that fucks me up initially is she, she agrees to switch rooms with him, but then like switches the labels so that she's actively putting Makoto in danger of being killed. Like, if something happens.
No, because she lied about someone trying to get into her room.
Then why switch the things? Like, maybe I just don't remember properly.
I think you don't remember it probably because she switched rooms because she wanted Leon Smash Mouth to die inside of Makoto's room, and then when morning came, she would switch them back, and then I don't know, convince Makoto to go to eat breakfast with her, and then then somehow people are gonna find like Leon's corpse inside his room, and then yeah, it will essentially be his word against hers. And as Toko mentioned, who would people believe? A widely beloved pop star or some nobody?
Yeah, some guy. Yeah. But like even then, that's it. The murder is still pinned on Makoto at that point, correct?
Well, yeah, because instead of Leon being dead in his shower, it's Sayaka was dead in his shower.
Right, but either way, there was going to be a dead. The initial plan was Smash Mouth Leon would be dead in Makoto's shower, and so the murder would get pinned on Makoto. So
yes,
I understand she didn't know all the other people were going to die, but at the very least, she was throwing Makoto under the bus with potential consequences of, I don't know, I don't know. Just like real, but I don't think that's very cool. You know what I mean?
I agree it wasn't very cool of her, but she was willing to commit murder, which is inexcusable in of itself. But I still don't think that she is as bad as a person as you try to make her out to be.
And I do play it up for a little bit of just interaction, but I still don't. I don't think she's a very nice person. Is just my gut feeling on that one.
Well, you like Snake. You like Snake, but he killed someone in blind rage.
That's true. That's true. But what you don't understand, Ranger, is I'm a hypocrite. No.
And I have never denied being one.
Yeah. I really did enjoy Mondo's whole story arc. I really wish he didn't kill Chichiro. Like, I really wanted him to live until the end. But just like Mikon, somebody's gotta die. It's just the rules. Somebody's got to kill somebody. So
Might as well be the one who seemed like a ride or die kind of character.
yeah, golly, yeah.
That's actually in V3 after you complete the game. There's actually a board game where you can play as some of the all of the characters in the main game, and sometimes you will connect on like event spaces. And if you play as, I think it was either Chihiro or Mondo, you can actually get an event between those two where it's, and keep in mind they're all going to school in this scenario.
Yeah.
And Mondo is actually like helping Chihiro like train and stuff, and it's actually and they're not missing their memories. They're friends, and he's helping, and Chihiro is like, oh, maybe I should come clean to everyone else that I'm actually a boy, and then guess who comes and ruins the moment?
No.
It's the serial killer is like, oh yeah, if you were a boy, I would probably kill you. And Chihiro's like, oh god damn it. I'm like,
yeah, it's like I can never let anyone know now.
Yeah, I'm like, god damn it, Jill, I like you, but just do you have to ruin the moment?
Why did Mondo turn into butter? Is that just a culture joke that I don't understand, or
I read somewhere it's that it's like a story based on like some tigers that like ran around so fast that their insides got churned and then turned into butter or something.
I do remember that, actually. I completely forgot. Because I would have thought like my initial thought was, well, his hair looks like corn. I guess it's because he needs to butter it. But yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. The only, like, story of a tiger, like, little fables that I remembered as a kid was the scrawny tawny, it's not a tiger, it's but the scrawny tawny lion who was, like, this scrawny lion who couldn't catch anything, so he made pudding, I think, and he got fat. So then he couldn't catch anything still. So it was just, I don't know what the lesson was there, but it was like, it stuck with me.
Okay.
It's such a weird fucking thing. It was a weird book. My mom had like volumes and volumes of odd fables and fairy tales. And some of those stuff were real fucking weird.
The kind of stuff that Disney will not touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just heavily edited so people can tell what its source material is.
Yeah, they'll completely destroy the story, and then you'll get some right-wing commentator saying how that was their favorite story, ever, and this is they've always cared about this.
I was about to say like Frozen, but I don't think I heard any right-wing commentators talk about that one.
I don't think so either, but like all these people who are going after Snow White who just did not give a damn like 4 days before are just hilarious to me. I still think the movie looks dog shit, and I think it looks bad, and it's the publicity for it is horrible, but let's not kid ourselves. These guys are not super fans of Snow White.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
not to get political, but
yeah, I know. Yeah, it just kind of reminds me when the Netflix She-Ra came out. And suddenly, all these people are suddenly, we were big fans of the 1980s He-Man and She-Ra. I'm like, you do know 1980s He-Man and She-Ra was really gay,
incredibly gay.
Like, oh my god, you're telling me you were fans of that? but a reboot of She-Ra where she's like a 16-year-old girl who's trained for like combat is flat and looks like a boy, and you're surprised by that.
Yeah.
And
How dare things be different?
And your Magic doesn't look like a fully grown woman
Right.
whose figure is made to sell toys.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. Like, I know we're completely off subject now, but like, that's my favorite thing is these people who are like acting like these are integral points of life in our society when they're just like Transformers and Ninja Turtles and He-Man. They're all just toys. They were just ads to sell you toys. It's okay that they're different now. You're not buying the toys.
I never did.
Yeah. That's the thing is they're also selling to parents. Like, I don't think, especially nowadays, I don't think mom and dad are gonna be super okay with like ultra hourglass cut She-Ra for their 5-year-old. They kind of want something that looks a little bit more, I don't know, nice for their 5-year-old, and not like not like a sex doll.
Well, depends on the demographic, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Some of those guys were really weird about it.
I know, dude. It's just weird. It's the like April O'Neil being different, and all of them are just like, I see this still. That movie came out like at the beginning of this year. But like they keep posting pictures of, look what they took from us, and it's April O'Neil with like the shirt kind of open a little bit, but it's always AI or fan art. It's never an actual like picture of April O'Neil from the cartoons. It's just what they remember as little teenage boys, little pent up teenage boys. Like how dare she not be hot anymore? She's just an actual teenager.
Little teenage boys who hasn't figured out what the internet can be used for.
Exactly. But oh my goodness.
But yeah, getting back on track on the cast of the first game. Yeah, good question. We can rewatch the VOD and see where we went wrong.
Oh man.
So we were talking about. Now I remember we were talking about like Frozen and the Snow Queen for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And we were talking about. We were done talking about Mondo.
Yes, I did it. It was my fault. I changed the story to old stories from when I was a child. But yeah, okay, but I like Mondo. I think Mondo was a top tier character.
Me too.
What is your opinion on Byakuya?
I love to hate him.
Love to hate him. Okay, that's fair.
Every game has a I love to hate him character. Like this one has Byakuya.
Mm-hmm.
The second game, I guess Nagito fills that role, and then the third game has it definitely has one.
Okay.
Let's just say I watched one fan make a Danganronpa award thing,
mm-hmm.
and essentially the love to hate character in the third game essentially won most of them.
Wow. Wow.
He's just a chaotic little goblin.
Oh man, I guess as kind of a wrap up question, Danganronpa 1 out of 10, what would you rate it? In terms of enjoyability, story, all of that kind of stuff.
I would give it. It's either 7 or 8.
7 or an 8. That's pretty high. That's pretty good.
Yeah, because the story did grip me, like the mystery behind, okay, why are we locked in here, and who are these people, what are our history with each of them, who's behind it, and why do some of the other characters commit murder, and all that, and how did they do it, and stuff like I did enjoy figuring out who did what in cases that it wasn't like blatantly obvious who did it. Like the second trial with Mando, I really liked that I was able to figure out by just listening to like the thing that he said that revealed him, because I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, what about 2? What would you rate that out of 10?
Probably a 7.
7?
I don't want to rate it higher than the first one, because the first one is the start. It introduces you to everything about it. Second game, still enjoyable. Still enjoyed figuring out how things end up as they did. Not as much as the first one, because the first one, like, you didn't know anything about the world, but I did like the twist that, oh, you're all bad guys in the real world.
Yeah.
Oh my god, with your talents and power, oh my god, you can do so much damage.
You're right. I will say I did kind of enjoy the fact that, oh, we're flipping the script here. These are bad guy people now. You know, we're not all just looking for the reason to keep hoping on. No, we were it's kind of our fault in the first place.
It's not as much as their fault in the first place, but more of they made a bad situation worse.
Yeah. Well, okay.
And only because of Makoto are they able to get like a second chance at life of not being assholes.
Yeah.
Well, except for like I don't know, Taro, he's probably still gonna be a perv.
Yeah, they're gonna get him out of the pod, like figure out how to bring them back to life, and immediately kill him.
It's like, ritualist.
No. Yeah, exactly. No. You
ritualist sacrifice.
Yeah. Shh, it's okay. Just sleep. Well,
yeah.
I think I'm gonna call it here. We went way longer than I thought we would, but I have a something for you. Seeing as this is a trial room, let me move you over a little bit. Or we'll do it like this. The council has spoken.
Oh shit.
Oh no, I can't find it. Where did it go? Oh, I'm ruining this. Where did it go? No. Window capture. Fuck, I lost it. Where is it? There, display capture. Okay. Got it. So, the council has found you, guilty, so we're going to, enact your punishment. Are you ready, sir?
No.
It's a little too late. Here we go.
I don't like his half my body.
Oh god, I feel horrible actually doing this.
Do I get like a last word or something?
Well, yeah, I guess. Hold on, let's put your head back on. Let me just get that out of there. Go ahead.
Well, that didn't go as planned.
I wish I had the music for the like the. But yeah, so Monokuma says, it's party time. And then, what?
The money's at.
No! No! Oh, the humanity. Oh no, what is she? Wait.
Yeah, my last words are gonna be, I hit the money at.
Says, oh, that's terrible. What a tragedy.
What have I been like guilty of? What is my crime?
Guilty of liking this game. Guilty of talking positively about people that are characters that I do not enjoy. And that makes Monokuma very angry. Yeah, definitely Monokuma and not just me. He says, that's right. This is horrible. I thought this was going to be great, and then I did it, and I feel really bad. I'm sorry.
As you should be.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, let that be your thumbnail.
Oh, man.
I executed my guess, and I felt horrible about it.
Yeah, exactly. Not clickbait. But
Sponsored by Rage.
yeah, exactly. Thank you to NordVPN, because sometimes you need to block your history so that this person can't find you.
Sponsored by Honey, because we're really desperate right now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. But all right, let's get that out of here. Let's bring you back. Oh no, what is this? He got a 1-up. This turns out he was perfectly fine the whole time. There he is. This sucks.
I can still feel my head separated from my body.
The next time you come on, I'll like rebuild you into a cyborg or something.
You have
Mecha Ranger.
You have Mika put bandage wrap around my neck.
Yeah. That's what it'll do.
There is actually a audio clip of her just saying bandage wrap all over the time, over again.
That'll be perfect. Alright, Ranger. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And we almost went 3 hours. That's pretty dang good.
Yeah, it was a pleasure being here. I wouldn't mind doing it again, talking about something else that you don't hate.
I don't really like hate it. It's just kind of fun to rip into it a little bit and lean into it. I don't love it. I don't like it particularly, but it's, you kind of lean into it a little bit, you know what I mean?
I get it. I like ripping into things I don't like most of the time, I think.
Well, yeah, we will do something else sometime eventually. But for now, everybody, thank you for joining, the people who popped in and out. But yeah, man, have a good afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I know it's late for you, Ranger. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.